unicorns. Hey, it's Ellie, the Empress here. Um, I have a lot of things to say. First, I'm going to start with stop. Stop sending whatever it is you're sending to whoever is sending it. I've had situations where I've had now, at this point, multiple neighbors try to get to know me. And no, I'm not talking about some sweet lady who's trying to be my friend. These are men who essentially tried to infiltrate my life. I use that word intentionally. Now, before I describe the previous situation, I'm going to talk about the current situation, how it is. There is an individual who has been lurking around my home. I have a child, so that puts me in a vulnerable position as a mom. I am a lady who has a child, and there's a man who has repeatedly come up to my home. All right. This man has now left a note on my door trying to get to know me. I should be able to go outside, enjoy my garden, and enjoy nature and do whatever I want to do by stepping outside. Now, the previous situation where one of my older neighbors, and I say they're an older neighbor because they are no longer here. I'm I have to say it this way so people get the correlation of what it is that I'm saying. This man looked exactly like Nature Boy. I kid you not. I have no affiliation with Nature Boy. I just have to describe it that way simply because of how everything was happening. I was singing outside. That's just what I do. And I happen to have my phone calls outside sometimes, so I'll just be in nature while talking to whoever it is I'm talking to. This man was trying to engage in conversation with me, letting me know, hey, I'm a music producer. I heard you singing before. You have a nice voice, all that. So this ties into the siren aspect of this message overall. This is a warning. Leave me alone. That previous neighbor lived with some other people in that house. They no longer live there after they came up to my doorstep. I was saging that particular day. They came up to my doorstep to show concern. They said they saw my door was open, they saw smoke coming out, and they wanted to lend help. Now, I was burning sage and wax. Y'all know how sage is. Y'all know how wax is. It's very fragrant. If I have my door, window, whatever open, it's because I'm letting the smoke out intentionally. And if you smell the fragrance of what it is that's burning, you know that it's not a concern. It's not charcoal. It's not heavy black gray smoke. It's little white smoke that smells sweet. There's nothing to be concerned about. Parallel to this new situation happening now, I burn incense. Y'all know this. We have our own practices. We have our own things that we do in our own homes, even if it had no spiritual correlation. However, mine does. This individual showed concern because I left my door open. Leave me alone. So now that I'm expressing that publicly, because I have told my family and I have told friends that are close to me, I've let them know about the situation. And now today there was a note on my door. This individual has approached multiple doors at my home. Leave me alone. Y'all keep making people disappear because They're messing with me. Leave me alone. With that, as a siren, I am sounding the alarm. I usually refrain from referring to myself as a siren, at least publicly or even in certain conversations. I let it be known about my associations with the aquatic kingdom for the purpose of assisting individuals to know exactly what is happening, whether it's within the waters, in the ethers, and how to prevent certain things from happening or to be up on game about the things that are currently happening. With that being said, if you read the description box of this video, you'll know where all my messages that were from 2023, where I was letting all this information be known ahead of time. Now, all of a sudden, the government is confirming the fact that aliens are in the ocean. Think about this. As someone who was falsely both sent to the psych ward and was defamed essentially to the government system and had to prove that I am mentally sane by getting a mental health evaluation from the psych ward for a second time, I'm fine. And the government system knows this. Imagine all the people who shared their stories about whether it's alien abduction, communication with aliens or extraterrestrial beings, just for the government to now, for several years in a row, confirm that aliens exist when those people were called to be mentally insane. Think about how deep that goes. There are documentaries, there are movies, there are series, television shows, all sorts of things depicting these individuals as anything less than a capable thinker. Just for the government to confirm that they were right the whole time. Is there going to be some sort of retribution for these individuals, their families who had to deal with these situations, their children who had to go without a parent, deal with their parent having to be medicated? Is this issue going to be corrected? Now that it's been confirmed on a federal level that this situation is true, when everyone was constantly told that that's a lie. Then you have the concepts of individuals saying that these aliens are evil, they're demons, they're demonic. Many of these beings are the ancestors that sacrificed themselves by jumping off the boat. The boats that now people are claiming never existed, which it's just so much happening at this point. These boats and even these auction docks had several individuals' ancestors on them. Obviously, if that individual sacrificed themselves before they had children, this is not your great whatever as far as you being a direct individual from that person as a descendant. That's a great auntie, uncle, cousin. Okay? Still the same bloodline. It may not be a parent of yours. As serious as everything is, we're now in Mercury retrograde. This is the first official date of it, November 25th, 2024. Oceanic extraterrestrial beings have now been confirmed by the federal government. So with that being said, it's important for everyone to know what that means. They're not just announcing this because it's interesting information or some sort of new discovery. This is now revealing the depths of what has not only been hidden, but what has been perpetuated, what has been a chronic issue that's easily solvable. The issues that humanity faces are easily solvable. Yet, because there is something that these individuals want to keep behind closed doors, they have to slowly leak this information out bit by bit, piece by piece, rather than loosening their grip on whatever structure they think the system is. This goes far beyond believing that aliens exist, because then you have things like Project Bluebeam. You have things like the Antichrist. You have things that all this rhetoric has already been spewed out through programming of Bible teachings in a certain religious aspect, where now people don't know what's real. Even when the truth is explained to them, the truth even has to be taken with a grain of salt and interacted with discernment to such an extent that so many people are lukewarm. You can't even blame the lukewarm individuals because everything seems like a lie. When something was a truth for an individual for so long, just to find out it was a lie, what is that individual to believe at that point? What are they supposed to know at that point? Because they thought they knew. Now they don't know. Imagine going your entire life bullying people who believe in aliens just for the government to come out and say, yes, they're actually real. For several years in a row. Now they're specifying where they live. Of course, some of them live on the surface. They haven't quite confirmed that yet. They make it seem like they're only in UFOs flying above everyone in the atmosphere. The conclusion I've come to in several cases now at this point is that most individuals who have platforms online are false. And when I say platform, I mean a large platform. Individuals like myself who, we got clout, but we don't have like clout, big numbers behind our names. Those who have the largest numbers are false. And it's not to say that individuals with small numbers are not also false. However, there's something about having large numbers behind one's name where it's the getting lost in the sauce sort of aspect. Like I told y'all, and I've been telling y'all, this is why I'm making this announcement now. I am leaving social media next year. This has gotten so far out of hand. Internet is controlled by underwater subsea cables. So what actually is happening with all these individuals with these platforms online? Y'all just saw me the other day out in the community, again, on the ground, because that's what I started this platform doing. That's what I'm ending this platform doing. I don't have time to sit on a screen and perform. There are actual people who need actual help in real life. I can sell information. I can share information. I can communicate with you all individually and do what I can for you digitally. That's not going to help you in your real life. That's not going to help anyone in their real life. What's anyone supposed to do with the fact that aliens exist and they live in the ocean? What's anyone supposed to do with that information? I have the answers to that. And I have been sharing the answers to that for free and paid. So there's no way to check me. However, there's plenty of ways to check other individuals who are not providing the value necessary for people to change the life that they're living. Being aware of the I'll say it like this. The structures that have been built to intentionally keep people in a certain frame of mind and a certain way of thinking, knowing about those origins and how to utilize them and use them for yourself is what's necessary. Just knowing about them and making fun of them and criticizing them, that can no longer be everyone's only answer and go to. Anyone who's constantly still complaining about these structures and does not have a plan of action for other people to join in on, to not necessarily destroy the structures, because obviously that's happening on its own, but to rebuild new structures. If there's individuals who are constantly complaining and they don't have a plan of action, stop listening to them. I've said this before. I have said this before. Anyone who's constantly still criticizing these structures that we know are false, that we know are not good situations to be in, and they're not providing actual physical solutions for people to benefit from, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. At that point, they're deranged. We're in a time period now where even the government themselves are saying certain things out loud, not just aliens. It's not just aliens. However, that is a huge aspect of it. Because now it's being stated that we have to work with these beings, whether y'all know how a lot of these world leaders are, whether that means going to war with them or potentially integrating them into society. Whichever route those individuals decide to go, we have to know what to do for ourselves. So, by taking my particular advice, at least learning about the monetary system behind why the Department of Commerce rules the internet, at least you know the mindset of why internet is geared a certain toward a way. Like, we knew that they would use the internet for money. We just didn't know how deep it was, literally deep sea, or how it was happening. Now we know the mechanics of it. Someone could get a job in one of those arenas and learn more about those systems. Someone could address the Department of Commerce about these specific situations and get more information from a political standpoint. Someone can learn more about the science of manufacturing subsea cables and learn the technology of how to do these things, whether individually for oneself, one's own company, or be able to provide some sort of solution. That's all real tangible things that someone can go do tomorrow. I'm not saying some woo-woo super spiritual stuff and you got to go meditate, you got to go within. No, I'm giving you real 3D answers. I took the esoteric stuff that floats around in people's minds and I made it real. And there's nothing anybody could say. I'm going to read y'all's comments real quick and I'm going to go soon. Unstoppable Undefeated said, OMG, really? That's going too far. Did you get a photo of him? I don't have a photo of him. I do not. I did think about potentially going live if that man knocks on my door again. I have alerted more family members about it. So if I have to file another police report, I will. This has just been the year of me being a Fed, how people were accusing me of originally. I'm not doing nothing to nobody. However, I am suing motherfuckers and I am calling the police. Because I'm done. I'm absolutely done. This don't make no type of sense. AS said, hello, hello. Unstoppable Undefeated said, they're not aliens. This is their planet. Thanks so much for being true. Wayne Wortman said 100. So that was what I was saying. I don't know which part you came in on because I'm reading the comments late. That's what I was saying as well. A lot of those beings are our actual ancestors who sacrificed themselves and became part of the marine kingdom. So because they passed away at a certain type of vibration in the sea, they became part of that aspect of living versus being on the land with us. So now they are resurfacing in their reincarnated bodies. as aquatic beings. And a lot of us who live on the surface are actually not from this planet. And that's the part where then you have to go in and you have to figure out your stuff for yourself on your own, because it only goes so deep as far as tangible information that people can learn about here on this planet, with the written information or the documented information that we all have access to. I can't sit up here and say it's getting real. It's been real. It's now everything is in everybody's face, and it's kind of like, what are you going to do about it? Be a spectator and watch everything happen, or are you going to make change in your own life? This is why I said, like, spending time with y'all was cool. I'm done risking my life. You know, I'm not on that Yeshua Christ energy as far as being a sacrificial lamb. I'm on the resurrection type energy, though, as far as the mission that has to happen afterward. I'm just not finna do it in spirit form. I'm finna do it in the physical form. I'm still alive. My physical body's still here. So, hey, that stuff that y'all see me do recently, I'm still gonna continue doing that. Y'all seen the news clips. I told y'all about other individuals that I'm connecting to, intentionally going to communicate with the sentiments that I learned from you all and that you all have shared with me, things that I have observed over this time period of intentionally trying to help the community without the help of those in superiority and power in these high places. Now I'm going to them, being a mirror and reflecting to them, this is what you have done, this is what you need to fix, and this is how to fix it. Even if you don't go with my specific idea, this is what needs to happen in order for things to change. They're already listening. Whether they're saying that directly to my face or they're reflecting it in their behaviors and their ideas. People think it's so terrible that the Board of Education is being demolished. Why is the Department of Education being demolished a terrible thing when everyone's been complaining about the Department of Education for probably the past 10 years? Hasn't everyone been requesting for the systems to fall? And now that the opportunity is there for that particular system to fall and be rebuilt, now it's an issue for individuals. See, that's where people can't even take their own hypocritical behavior and rhetoric. Because how can people complain about something and then that complaint be brought with a solution? And individuals still complain about it. Oh, was it the delivery, or was it the one who delivered the message? Otherwise, it's still hypocritical. I logically know that I can't sit up here and encourage everyone to homeschool. It makes no sense for most people because of the way that society has been shaped and structured. So, what do we do instead? We work together with the structures that already exist, transmute the issues into what they need to be for people to successfully thrive in this evolving society. Now we're being told that we have to integrate with aliens. It's finna be real. Futurama is finna be real. We already got the robots. What is anyone talking about? I think this stage of not wanting to accept what reality currently is the issue. The resistance of it is the issue. Do I want to share a society with robots? Not necessarily. I don't want to treat a robot like a person. It's not a person. It's not a sentient being. It's a program. What is an alien or an extraterrestrial, though? That is a sentient being. That's not a program. They have more knowledge than we do. So, integrating our 5D beings who have been observing Earth for the longest time, then also integrating these two-dimensional beings who were created by man. These beings from multiple dimensions are now being integrated into society. And everyone has to realize that and move accordingly. Resisting it is only going to cause more of an issue. If you don't like it, what can you logically do about it outside of complain? I'm not complaining about my alien brothers and sisters getting here. It's about time. These robots, they need to keep that shit regulated and watched heavily. That's all I can say, and that's all we can do. We can't stop the people from inventing it, and we can't stop people from buying these things. I'm trying to get robots banned. Right, okay, exactly. Like, it's not happening. There's too much money. Oh, all of a sudden we're back to commerce. Because that's all this is. It's a machine. Are robots directly geared toward individuals who need assistance and help? No. Wouldn't that make sense? Sure, that would make sense. They're not advertised directly to individuals who really would benefit from a robot. They're advertised for leisure. The Jetsons. They're not advertised to individuals who struggle with certain things and who would greatly benefit from having an easier life due to robots. No, it's geared towards advertising more laziness. So now that this is here, the aliens, the aquatic beings specifically, that I do talk about in the videos that will be released soon, all these beings are now here on Earth, publicly. A lot of celebrities are about to come out and reveal their true identity. There are a lot of celebrities that have never been seen in public outside of whether it's performances or whatever sort of aspect that may be. People assume that it was for their safety. However, there are plenty of celebrities who are up there in fame and they're seen out in public. They're regularly spotted. What's the difference? You may think that one celebrity is more famous than the other. Okay, well, that celebrity is more famous than that one. So why are they safe out in the streets and you never see them in the streets? How does that make any sense? Because they are a different type of being and they're not allowed to be in the streets for whatever reason. They were never, whether given permission to be in the streets or they choose not to, because being out in public is very different from them performing. That's interesting. Chantel Outlaw removed their message. Okay. Your future Rev, Dr. Tierra J. Stephens, said in her recent interview, Lisa Ray, the Jetsons been a thing and we're seeing it now. Robots. Facts. And facts win, like, outward speaking on it, because it's just like, accepting it is the solution and the answer. What is this fight? What is anyone fighting? And even when it comes to, I'm going to close out with this because I'm wrapping up how I started the stream. So to remind you, the information that I was sharing in 2023 will be being shared with those who have a membership here on this platform. That information is not for the public. I only had that up for a short amount of time on my Instagram platform. Now they will only be available to members here. Chantel Outlaw said, too many have been in denial for way too long. True. So all the information about the marine kingdom, the aquatic kingdom, and those who are essentially being villainized and demonized, there's demons and angels in every realm. So we're not going to sit like when people would talk about Hades before we gained a better understanding. Hades isn't necessarily a bad dude. He just rules the underworld, and that's a place where people don't want to deal with. Who else is going to take care of the dead souls? Whose job is it? The Grim Reaper is not a bad individual. He just has a job. He's just doing a job, okay? It's a job. Someone has to do the job. If he doesn't do the job, who's going to do the job? Who is going to take someone from their physical living self to purgatory to the afterlife? Who's going to do it? It's a transference of energy. If it's not a literal dude in a cape and with the what's it called? Not a cipher. I forgot what it's called. The little, you know, the damn knife thing. Okay? It's a job, it's a work of energy. It's a transference of soul and spirit. Someone has to do that, or something has to do that. So that information to get a membership to be a six-figure angel, that's the first tier. It will be available for six-figure angels. And some of it may go into the millionaire mages tier. So just, yeah, what I will be doing is releasing those videos 1 week at a time, just so everything is digestible, because I say a lot of information in them. Like I said, this happened in 2023. Now everything has manifested here at the end of 2024. So I will be feeding this information once a week at a time. And this will continue to happen after I leave this platform. So, you know, like if you leave comments and I don't reply, it's because I'm literally not on the platform. The information still would be getting shared with everyone who has a membership. If you decide to share that information with someone else, cool, great. Get the information out there if you would like to people who are going to value it. I just saw someone the other day on TikTok, and I'm not, you know, in my brain thinking to be too paranoid. However, all of a sudden people are talking about that the internet is run by cords underwater. Okay, so people can go viral on TikTok just making reactionary, surprise, shocked content about it and go viral just because they're shocked. I've been sitting here teaching about it and what the science actually is for several months now with little to no traction. Am I angry that they went viral? Not necessarily. I just don't like the fact that they're going viral off of being surprised and shocked and low-key angry about their ignorance, because I was too. However, I'm teaching about it so people can gain a true understanding in order to understand what's actually happening. They're not teaching anything. They're just shocked. Oh my gosh, guys, I didn't know this. And they're going viral. When I'm giving the exact steps and information necessary to gain proper comprehension of what's happening, and I'm not even hitting thousands of views for those posts. That's what I mean. Now people are just reacting and surprised and shocked when I have all the information in one spot. That's why I gotta go, because this internet stuff is too much. Michael George said, peace, reflection, peace. Oh, TRSF says scythe. Gratitude. The scythe. Lynn Wartman said, big 100. Because period. Allah Ma'at said, peace and blessings. Peace. So yeah, again, to close out, leave me alone. Whatever y'all think this man is supposed to be doing, coming up to my doors and leaving notes on my doors, whatever y'all think that's doing, it's not. I'll call the police again. Y'all doing too much. Y'all done already sent a neighbor into my neighborhood to watch me, to try to talk to me, try to do music with me, whatever. Sir, we in the fucking hood, okay? I don't trust nothing you talking about other than selling me some weed. And then once we got to that point, I don't even trust that. You're talking about you're a music producer. I would have taken the offer of, hey, you trying to buy something? I would have taken that offer quicker than try to produce music for me. And now there's just some random man lurking around my home trying to get to know me. Yeah, no. But I'm finna go. Shalom, Rainicorns. I'll see y'all in the next one.